The bookshop keeper, who doubles as the secretary of the school, gives an insight into the situation.
In academic year, every September, the publishers bring the books to us for us to sell. But right now we're in the third term, so most of the books have been sold already. So most of them too have come for the leftover. So it has left with only few, because next academic year they are going to bring new books for us. That's why the bookshop is empty.
So who supplies the bookshop with the books?
The publishers from different...
Has there been any situation where the kids buy the books and they don't have money to pay for the books?
Oh yeah, sometimes they don't have, but when they come, we consider them. Then later they come and pay.
So what do you mean by consideration?
But you know, these children, most of them don't have money. So when we consider them, when they bring it, fine. If they don't bring it, then it means I'm in charge. I have to pay for the... Yes.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, it means that there have been a number of times where you have had to pay for the books yourself.
Sometimes, yes.
I remembered this week as the Citizenship Week being put together by the National Commission for Civic Education. But do students and teachers know about such a celebration?
Well, it just came by a flash. It was because I heard somebody, a friend of mine was saying it, but we have not received any letter on that effect that there is going to be that particular meeting or that particular celebration is this week or not.
Say no, please.
You don't know anything about that?
They educate people on their human rights and also help to fight for them when they are being abused.
Do you know they are celebrating their week today?
No. They supply school children their needs, what they need, and they take care of school children. As they gave us this mosquito net.
I then asked some students to sing the national anthem.
God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of light. Feel the heart, make sure you're me. Make sure, make us share us, fear us all disease, and help us to resist the present. It's for the world and my forevermore. God bless our own land, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, born to defend forever the cause of freedom and fire. God bless our own land, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, both to defend forever the cause of freedom and of fire. I pray myself.
Ready to leave, I saw a heap of rubbish on the other side of the school and quizzed the head teacher about it.
We started negotiating with them, not now, for a long time now. But we realized that it was getting out of order. So I sent some of my teachers there, and they came down. They said they were going to charge about 30 million or 3,000 Ghana cedis. We tried to bid it down. We have now come to about 2,200, which we are trying to, we don't have any item on the bill for refuse and those things. So we are trying to generate funds internally to get it cleared off.
What really did they say would make up that 2,200 Ghana cedis?
Well, we are just asking them to evacuate it from there, and I think they may have to bring an excavator to pull it out and some trucks to carry it out of here.
Now, if they evacuate the refuse from that side, where would you be able to dump your refuse?
We plan building an incinerator and then separate the refuse.
Surprisingly, the Ghana Health Service, through the District Director of Education, distributed mosquito nets to students. For a school with such a refuse dump on its compound, this gesture seemed perplexing. Well, now that their plight is out, let's see what happens within the next few weeks. Will government or any philanthropist come to their aid? From the Achimota Preparatory School, my name is Derek Ekosam.
Now, the Polytechnic Teachers Association of Ghana says it will not call off a strike over week-long strike until all monies owed members are paid. I'm joined over the telephone by James Dugra, his POTAC president. Thank you very much, James, for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
James, I know there was a congressional meeting. What decision came out of that?
Darling?
I'm asking what came out of the congressional meeting.
Okay, the extra Congress was that we resolved to continue with the action.
Hello, James. Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. I think we have resolved.
I recall also that the Labour Commission had invited you for talks. What happened with that? I think that the line with James there has dropped. We'll get James over the telephone and, we'll talk about this again. Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, Samuel Afaridate, has challenged claims that $16 million has been lost in forest revenue due to the Commission's failure to review timber stumpage fees for 10 years. He addressed these concerns during a national colloquium to explore ways to better manage Ghana's forest and wildlife resources.
Forest, we can categorize our...
Though he acknowledged the quarterly review of timber stumpage fees was not done between 2003 and 2012, he disagreed with the Forest Watch Ghana's recent report suggesting the failure cost the nation some $16 million. He explained the commission was forced to suspend reviews for a decade due to the timber company's intransigence over the royalties issue.
There were too many assumptions in coming to that figure of 16 million. Stumpage years has not been reviewed since 2003. We reviewed it now, but there have been two main issues, challenges facing the Forestry Commission. The companies always made presentations to, as I said, the leadership of the country in relation to the cost of the operation. And then the Forestry Commission, as a response to the petition, will be asked to hold on in reviewing the stumpage while government or the legislature went through the petition process.
Some of these challenges, he said, have since been resolved, thereby allowing the Commission to conduct its first review after the long break.
We've reviewed it, taking into starting from March. What it means is that we've won the battle against the petitions and the review process and all that. I don't know about the legal battle yet because we've not had any writ of summons from the industry about any interpretation issue. We hope to succeed as we go along.
Meanwhile, in an effort to promote ecotourism and business opportunities, the sector ministry intends to actively pursue reforestation and landscape restoration with the new forest and wildlife policy.
Now, really, the forest is best maximized, optimize the use when you maintain the non-consumptive aspect. Those that you take, but you don't take as much as you would have taken if it were just purely for timber. So what it basically means is that for many areas, take example of Achimota Eco Park. It used to be, it was established for fuel wood for the Achimota school. It became a forest reserve. And then people were cutting for fuel wood and for other uses and using it for other purposes. Now we're reserving the whole forest as an eco park. The trees where it has been taken out, we will replace, and then we develop the ecotourism. So this form of management will preserve it for the current generation and the future generation.
According to the Forestry Commission, Ghana is losing out on massive benefits from forest reserves as a result of illegal logging, degradation, and wildlife extension. The Commission indicated it would rehabilitate some ecotourism parks that have been left in ruins.
Let's go back to a story on POTAC strike. James Dugra, as president of the Polytechnic Teachers Association of Ghana, has joined me again over the telephone. Let's find out what became of that meeting between POTAC and the National Labour Commission. Thank you very much, James, for joining us again.
Thank you. How are you?
We're well. Now, James, there was a meeting between POTAC and the National Labour Commission. What became of that?
Our meeting with the National Labour Commission?
Yes.
Yeah, we met, that was on the 21st, and they told us that our strike action was illegal. So we reconvened yesterday, and they were asking us to call the strike off immediately. But we also didn't understand where they were coming from. So
why did they think your strike was illegal?
Yeah, their point was that our letter was not straightforward, that it wasn't clear to them.
I see. And so what now? You are on an illegal strike?
No, to us it is not illegal because the law provides that before you go on strike, you have to write to the National Labour Commission and your employer within 7 days. And we did that on the 16th. And they waited on the 21st of the following month before they called to tell us that they read our letter and they didn't understand. And we were also very surprised because we are all in Ghana. And if you want to do things in a very right way so that it will bring about some of these labor disputes, when we wrote the letter to them and they didn't understand, we think they should have called us for clarification. But they didn't do that. So we also think that maybe it's a deliberate attempt to, down.
But what does the commission not understand about your letter?
Yes. We don't understand because our letter is very explicit. And anybody reading it will know that it is a letter of notification enough. So if they say they don't understand, we don't know what they wanted to get from our letter before they know that it is a letter of notification.
So what you're saying is the commission told you it didn't understand your letter, yet it didn't tell you the source of its confusion.
Yeah, they said, that we indicated we're going to divorce all arsenals, including strike. And because we didn't go get a strike, that is why they didn't react to our letter.
I see. But if the commission has said your strike is illegal, then your members would have to forgo their salaries as long as they are on strike.
Again?
I'm saying, if the commission has determined that your strike is illegal, then your members will have to forgo their salaries if they continue to be on strike.
The issue is that they're not stipulated that you have to write within 7 days to your employer, and we did that. So section 159 and then 160 stipulates that, and we went by that. So
no, I get that point. Now, the other point I'm raising is that when labor unions go on illegal strikes, as determined by the Labor Commission, then you'd have to forgo your salary because it's illegal. And I'm asking, so your members are comfortable with that?
Yes, what we are saying is that, to the best of our knowledge, our strike is not illegal. The only thing is that they failed to reply within the 7 days, so they are finding a means to describe our strike illegal, but it is not illegal.
In other words, you're looking forward to your salaries.
Pardon?
You're looking forward to your salaries.
Which meant?
For as long as the strike is off. I mean, if the number of days you're out of the classroom is deducted from it. I mean, you know this better than me.
Yes, when they all come together, including you, to look at our explanatory enough, then you can go there.
I'm not sure I got that, James. This is what I'm saying. That in spite of the commission saying that POTAG is on an illegal strike, for as long as you are out of the classroom, you say it's not illegal, it's legal. You are expecting all those monies. Naturally, you should lose if the commission says your strike is illegal.
Yes.
Hello? For how long is this going to go on?
No, I think we have withdrawn to the 26th. So if they are going to calculate, we cannot tell. But the issue is that refusing to reply to somebody's letter, and the law says that you should reply to the letter within 7 days, and you didn't do that. And the person went on strike, and you turn around and use unconventional means to describe the strike as illegal. Well, we will leave that to another step.
Right. Thank you very much, James, for your time. James Dugra is president of POTAG. Now, a newly formed group to support the 2012 flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Crusaders of Nana Akufo-Addo. Well, now these crusaders have urged all factions in the party to resort to issue-based debates rather than hurl insults on the candidates. At a news conference Wednesday, the group played down the call for a cancellation of the presidential primaries, explaining healthy competition is needed to boost democracy in the party.
The news conference comes a day after the Greater Accra Regional Youth Wing of the party called for Nana Akufo-Addo to be allowed to stand unopposed in the NPP's upcoming presidential primaries.
We seek to warn all members of the party who have begun casting slurs and trying to destroy the reputation of other candidates in this contest that they will be crushed and will not survive this. Kona is calling for an issue-based campaign devoid of smear, blackmailing, and backbiting campaign. Let us project or sell the positive aspect of our various candidates to our delegates. We are very much interested in competition of ideas. We can humbly offer a free advice to all candidates to go to the ground, listen to the ground, and assess the ground. This is what we have done as a group to come out with this. We are determining to make sure delegates give Nana Addo Akufo-Addo 90% of the total vote.
The Crusaders of Nana Akufo-Addo, Kona, was formed with the aim of soliciting votes for Nana Addo, both in the primaries and the 2016 general elections.
The Shama District Assembly was established in 2007 by Legislative Instrument 1882 under the Local Government Act 1993, Act 462. The district is bordered to the west by the Second Itakrade Metropolitan Area, to the east by Komanda, Ejina, Guafo, Ebirim, to the north by Wassa East Districts, and to the south by the Gulf of Guinea. Now, it has a total land area of 250 square kilometers, and the district has 64 settlements. But I have here with me in the studio Member of Parliament and District Chief Executive Enoch Kojo Apia. He's DCE for the Shama District Assembly. We'll talk about Shama over the next few minutes. Thank you very much for joining us here.
You're most welcome.
So, when we look at general development in the Second Itakrade area, we realize that a lot has changed, especially since the exploration of oil. How has that affected Shama?
Yes, basically, let me say thank you very much for this opportunity, and good afternoon to your cherished listeners. Yes, you realize that Second Itakrade is choked now, and so most investors and individual developers have turned to Shama and Ahanta West. But as you see, Shama seems to be so close to the regional capital, and so we are having our fair share of the spillover. Yes, and so positively and negatively, but I would say that yes, the positives are on the higher side, and so it's good.
So what could be some of these negatives that, you know, the rise and development in the capital is having on Shama? Yeah,
hitherto it's quite a small district, and so every single community seems to know each other in terms of the people in those communities. But with the influx of people coming in and one investment or the other, yes, you see different crop of people also coming in, and it increases the risk level in the area of crime and other things. Yes, that's the negative one I'm talking about.
The other thing too is the fact that since those developments came up, we've seen inflation rise steadily in the western region. It used to be an okay region when it came to inflation, but now we see it rise month on month, year on year, since the exploration of oil. How on the ground in Shama, where you live, how would you say things have changed when it comes to inflation?
Well, certainly from Shama to Sekendi, Takoradi, the regional capital, just about 25 minutes drive. And so naturally, when you have people with a mentality that the oil has brought in another way of life and the standard of living being shut up, definitely it will affect Shama. So yes, we are having a fair share of the oil fine, even though it's positive, yes, but in terms of prices for goods and services, yes, we are so close, and so we are having a fair share of the difficulties, yes.
What would be an example of things, the price of produce that have typically changed in Shama?
Seriously speaking, the food crops, for instance, you used to just get about 10 cedis, you go to the market to get almost everything for a very good dinner, but this time it's not.
How have people reacted, the people of Shama reacted to the development, both the positive side and a more worrying side when it comes to your foodstuff, the price of your foodstuff going up?
Yeah, we are very much concerned about investment because I would think that government alone cannot develop the district. And so we're looking at for investors who will come in and pay their ability to get land, which is also very easy to put up one or two form of investment. Yes, we see them also helping in the area of road construction, putting up certain facilities, extending electricity to areas that hitherto didn't have. And so it's a positive thing. Yes, the world has become a global village. So even though we see some negativities, we think that it is at the lower side. And so we still have thrown our arms open and saying that if you want to do any investment in the Western region, the best place is Shama anyway.
Are the people of Shama poorer as a result of that, or they have better purchasing power now because there is oil in the Western region?
Really, let me say that yes, there is oil, but seriously, a lot of us have only heard of the oil, but not seen it. It is only the influx of foreigners and one company or the other coming into our district. That's what makes us feel that yes, there's indeed something going on. But yes, day in, day out, you don't expect culture to be static. And so as and when the changes come, we embrace them because we are part of the general society. Yeah.
One of the positive things when it comes to the exploration is the fact that we attract a lot of tourism to the area besides the, the usual tourism landmarks we have in the Western region. What would you say about it as far as Shama is concerned?
Yes, let me say that we have tourism potentials in the district, but gradually we have started developing it. We have started selling out the whole district. Now we'll have the River Pra, which passes through the district and enters the sea at the district capital. And then we also have few tourist attraction points. And so we are gradually developing it. But it is not like the well-established tourism areas in the country. But ours is gradual. And then we are doing our possible best to sell Shama to the whole world.
I see. How are you doing that, selling Shama to the world?
We are on the internet. We have our own website. If you go there, you will see Shama. You see the potentials and, of course, investment opportunities as well. So, yeah, we are doing our best today.
When population increases in a particular area, it comes with a lot of problems and a lot of advantages. One of the problems it will come with is poor sanitation. What is the case of Shama?
Yeah, seriously, that is an area that has been a headache to not only me, but the entire district. For me, I think it is attitude now, because if you are able to, create some sort of waste in your home, and there is a particular place to dump these wastes, I think it should be the simplest thing for all of us to do. But in a situation where people think that, yes, the assemblies had contracted waste management to Zoom Lion, and so they will have to just dump refuse anywhere for Zoom Lion to also get something to do.
But is it as bad as Accra?
Well, let me say that Shama is better. Shama is far better than Accra.
I see. Yes. All right, thank you very much for your time, Enoch. It's It's been a pleasure talking to you.
You're most welcome.
Enoch Kojo-Appiah is DCE for the Shama District Assembly. I'll be back. Thank you very much for staying on here on News Today. Let's get into some business talks. The World Bank is asking government to save and invest in productive sectors of the economy to assuage the current economic challenges and ensure sustainable growth. The bank, which remains worried about Ghana's over-expenditure on public consumption against investments, is also calling for a more efficient monitoring and execution of the budget.
Officials at the World Bank made a call at an ongoing workshop on budget monitoring to improve fiscal outcomes in Accra. For the bank, although there are notable reforms on the financial management front, including the Give Me system to strengthen budgeting, it should go hand in hand with effective delivery of public services.
A few years ago, and we had a discussion somewhat like this with the civil society group, in which people from the government were also present. And the question I put to them was, if Ghana is going to get substantial revenues from oil, how do you think it should be spent? And the response that I got from a number of people in the audience, particularly from the government civil service people, was we should increase salaries. And we've seen that there is a problem of wage level containment. But I think that's a problem that needs civil society engagement, because civil servants in some sense are a privileged group, and they may have first bite at this cake. But what about all the other people who should also benefit from the budget and the revenues from oil? A good way to decide on this would be to actually allocate it to public investments that benefit the whole, the public goods and services that everybody can share in and which can stimulate long-term growth.
We haven't done well in managing our natural resources, which we depend on for national development. And we haven't quite diversified the national economy. We haven't managed structural change. Many people are moving from rural to urban without the accompanying urban jobs to absorb them. And so they are going into other sectors where the productivity is even lower than where they're coming from. Meanwhile, natural resources are fast depleting. And it looks like the hydrocarbon is acting like a last resort. And we don't use that as a catalyst to transform and diversify the national economy. We have ourselves to blame.
Lead economist at the World Bank, Santiago Herrera, also says with Ghana's public spending pegged at 30% of GDP, the country will have to deal with the current economic challenges by saving and investing to grow productively.
The public policy to support productivity growth has many possibilities to make government more effective. Some options are to have a public investment management system that is functional. The governance of how public services are delivered can be reviewed to ensure that the services are delivered, and the monitoring and execution of the budget also have to be guided to ensure the delivery of the public services.
Although Director of Budget at the Finance Ministry, Patrick Nomo, admits the challenges, he says government is working assiduously to address them.
In our many attempts to computerize our systems, starting with POFMA, BPEMS, so on and so forth, we didn't pay so much attention to the business processes, the commitment control system. So we ended up, with a situation where once people went through a procurement process, a legal procurement process, they have floated tenders, they have awarded contracts, they have considered that as commitments without regard to what budgets are available. So with the reforms, we are now reintroducing our commitment control system to ensure that you can't commit government resources beyond what an approved budget can take.
The remaining day of the two-day workshop will meanwhile focus on the oil and gas sector monitoring tools as well as petroleum revenue management in Ghana. Abigail Admakunchi for Joy News.
The producer price index, which gives an indication of the cost of manufacturing inputs, has seen another increase from 27.8% in March to 31.5% in April 2014. The April rise is being blamed mainly on increasing costs in the mining and quarrying as well as manufacturing subsectors. Government statistician Dr. Philomena Nyako said that the depreciation of the cedi and increase in gold prices also contributed.
The producer price inflation rate for April 2014 was 31.5%, with a monthly inflation rate of 2.7%. This rate indicates that between April 2013 and April 2014, the PPI changed by 31.5%, representing an increase of 3.7 percentage points in producer price inflation relative to the rates recorded in March 2014.
Of the inflation rate for the production, processing and preservation of meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, oils and fats. And this group had the inflation rate moving from 59.9% to 69.2% between March and April. And as far as the mining and quarrying industry is concerned, we had the sector having its inflation rate moving from 14.5% to 25.2%, and this is because of the increases in gold prices.
Government statistician Dr. Philomena Yaku said the utility subsector recorded the highest year-on-year producer price inflation rate of 56.5%, followed by the manufacturing subsector with 27.7%. The mining and quarrying subsectors recorded an inflation rate of 25.2%.
Now we try to look at the changes in sector inflation, and we are saying that for the mining and quarrying subsector, the producer inflation rate increased by 10.7 percentage points in April 2014 relative to the rate recorded in March 2014. For the manufacturing subsector, the rate for April 2014 was 2.7 percentage points higher than that for March 2014.
The utility subsector recorded the lowest monthly rate of 0.3